Welcome. Perhaps you've been thinking about Ayurveda for a while. Perhaps you heard about it and have been trying it and experienced some of the positive health benefits. Perhaps you are already seeing clients in a health and wellness profession, but know that you want to go a little deeper into digestion and nutrition from a truly holistic perspective. And so you're here tonight to talk about the potential enrollment in the Mastering Ayurveda Digestion and Nutrition course at the Joyful Belly School of Ayurveda. This is a 1 year program designed to elevate your mastery and understanding of digestive tract pathology from a holistic perspective, from an Ayurvedic perspective, uh, to the level of mastery, to a level where you would feel competent talking about digestive tract pathology with a gastroenterologist who's been studying it for years. And um, and so we will in this program go through all major digestive tract pathology and use that as a platform for discussing Ayurveda's paradigm. Our cohort of students will be a group of people who are all health and wellness professionals on some level. As a prerequisite for entry into this program, you either have to have a prior background in the health and wellness industry in some area, or that you have a digestive condition yourself that you've been working with for a while. And that ensures that everyone in this program will have a lot to offer all the other students. I think this program in particular is a program where you will learn as much from one another as you do from us. Now, I'm hearing some background noise, so let me mute the lines, but you can unmute yourself. If there's a problem um, during the presentation today, you can stick it in the chat. And also, if that doesn't work, you can just unmute your line, let me know, and then mute it again. And that way we get a good recording for everyone. All right, great. That sounds much cleaner sound-wise. So let's go forward. This is a picture of me. I'm actually a little tanner than that, but yeah, that's what I look like. My name is John Immel. I'm the director and founder of Joyful Belly, and we've been running this program for about 10 years now. It's been on an online program the entire time, an online clinical program with the intention that you will begin a clinical practice when you graduate and start using this to help other clients. Now, people take this course for personal growth and also to heal themselves. But the intention of the course is that you will be able to offer this to others. So yes, you will get a lot of information that will help you, but you'll also get a lot of information of how to help others and see a more broad perspective, how to assess others, and that's exciting. Actually, one of my most favorite parts to teach in this course is tongue diagnosis. The tongue is a part of the digestive tract. And over the years, I've come to develop a specialty in that area. And it's just amazing how much information you can tell from looking at a client's tongue about their whole body. And I can't wait to teach that. I think that's a great tool, and also other tools as well that we'll learn, and ways to read signs so that you know what's happening inside the body from looking at the outside. All right. So the purpose of the course, I've said it a bit already, that the intention is that it's a comprehensive course in Ayurvedic digestive tract pathology and the Ayurvedic nutritional model. The Ayurvedic nutritional model is a bit different from Western nutrition. Western nutrition focuses on constituents and chemicals and particular minerals. The Ayurvedic model focuses on characteristics, what we would call biocharacteristics, and assessing those, and then assessing the food according to those characteristics as well. And then that is the foundation of how Ayurveda matches particular foods to a particular constitution. And we'll learn all about that in the program. The program is a 500-hour program. It says 10 months here, and I'm going to update the slide to say 12 months because we've added a more extensive clinical portion to the course where we go over clients in class, and that's the last 2 months of the program where we will be looking at case studies again and again. And I think that will help our students even more apply this information even more than they could before. We always had a clinic in the program. We've just expanded it. And great. The goal is that you will use Ayurveda's process and tools to provide high quality digestive coaching in your community. This will give you an insight into how your body works, and especially in the area of digestion. It's an immersion course. You'll be doing experiential body awareness experiments every single week by eating familiar household foods and reporting on their pharmacology. Uh, and and you're like, well, I don't know how to report on their pharmacology. We're going to teach you how to understand the medicinal effects of food from personal experience, and we'll show you how to interpret your personal experience in a medicinal way. This is how people figured out how to use herbs for thousands of years, and now we use or the gold standard in Western medicine is a double-blind controlled study, and that is the using the scientific method for modern statistical analysis. And Ayurveda works on a very individual level. So the statistics are not always as valuable. Aggregate statistics are not always as valuable in an Ayurvedic context because it's so individualistic. Instead, well, we use some other techniques, particularly experiential, hands on techniques. And I think any Western medical professional will come to appreciate the rationality of Ayurvedic's method because it is so direct and how that can be used to help a person. We've had gastroenterologists take this course after having a practice for 20 years, and and they just felt incredibly lucky to learn a whole new way of approaching their profession that doesn't replace or diminish what they've already learned, and it isn't in opposition to it, but is a wonderful addition and complement to what they're already doing. And so that's exciting to see that. It's exciting in this program to see when an Ayurveda practitioner has been out there for 15 years in their consultation practice and comes into the program and has, in a way, a whole new, deeper understanding of the digestive tract. And I know practitioners often come to me and say, "Okay, am I going to learn anything in this course?" As an Ayurveda practitioner, I've been practicing for 10 years, and the answer to that is absolutely. This course has actually very little overlap with introductory level Ayurveda courses, and that's why Joyful Belly has two courses. We have two courses at the Joyful Belly School of Ayurveda that are for Ayurveda training. One is an Ayurveda health counselor program. That's a 2-year program. And this program, a digestive program, is a 1-year specialization program. And students frequently take both. And sometimes they take this course first and sometimes the other course first. I think that students can do it in either way. But but after, but even if a person is just learning Ayurveda for the first time, or they're a seasoned gastroenterologist or an Ayurveda practitioner who's been out there for a long time. Studying this course has a lot to offer for all three of those groups: nurse practitioners, and really, actually, a whole gamut of different health and wellness professionals. We've had mental health workers come through this course, psychologists as well as counselors. We've had people who have been uh, studying or doing or teaching yoga for 10 years, wanting to expand their knowledge beyond the musculoskeletal system and learn about the other organs of the body, massage therapists, and others in health and wellness. Various health and wellness modalities come to take the course. Traditional Chinese medicine person practitioners as well. Let me give you a story from Dini Caputo, a graduate of this course. She said, "We healers often feel incredibly self conscious and embarrassed, especially when we have issues going on with our bodies that we can't fix, identify, or change. Sometimes these feelings spiral to even deeper thoughts of an inadequacy because we want to be authentic. We want to practice what we preach, and we want to be the one who has the answers. A year ago, in lieu of trying to self diagnose some said embarrassing malady, I stumbled upon a promotion of one of my favorite websites for delicious recipes and Ayurvedic information, Joyful Belly. They were advertising a 40-week, 500-hour certification for mastering Ayurvedic digestion and nutrition. Wow, I thought, how lucky are these people that they are going to spend the next year traveling through their entire digestive tract, discussing and learning how everything works. Then the next few weeks, this ad kept revealing itself to me, and it kept showing up whenever I was on my computer. Each time I thought, wow, lucky people. Finally, that little voice inside whispered, "This can be you." So I did it. I sent in my application. Waiting for acceptance is always hard. I was waiting to find out if I was accepted into the program. There's something very interesting about the waiting. The waiting reveals your true feelings, whether you really want it or not. And oh boy, I did. I love to be a student. Great. So thank you, Dee, for sending that, Deanie, for sending that over to us. Uh, the fact is that many of the people who come into our course went to school for some kind of training, maybe 5 years ago, maybe it was 10 years ago. Maybe it was even 2 years ago, and you're ready to jump back in. You're ready to move forward. That knowledge is starting to feel a little stale, and you feel like you've been saying the same thing over and over again in your practice, and you want to um, grow again. And so this course offers a great opportunity for that. There have been, as we all know, tremendous changes in the health and wellness industry over the past 10 years. And medicine has become more open to some of the insights that other health modalities have to offer. Ayurveda as a health modality was the modern sort of um, paradigm of Ayurveda really started about 250 BC, and it was part of a real worldwide movement in what I would call biocharacteristics medicine. Similar kinds of innovations in Unani Tib and Greek medicine over the next 1,000 years, and these systems kind of grew together. And I think Ayurveda is the one that's most widely practiced today and well developed and still in existence. Though, but most of the Silk Road trade routes from Europe all the way through to India practice a form of biocharacteristics medicine up until around the 1650s. So this was the world's medicine for thousands of years, and it has a lot of relevant information for today. And someday we'll talk about talk about its relevancy and also how it got pushed aside and what were the reasons for that and again how we can revive some of this information because offers a lot. And so, yeah, in this program, we're going to learn to apply the practical knowledge that Ayurveda offers of body, diet, lifestyle, and herbs to lead your clients to new health and vitality. And so I say that because this is a practical program. There are programs out there that will sort of present Ayurveda in a very mystical way, or even as a spiritual healing, or as a religious or faith healing practice, and they'll bundle in things like astrology and other kinds of um, practices into what they call Ayurveda. That is not the Joyful Belly School. What we offer is a very we get down to basics in a way, not basics in terms of limited knowledge, but a very practical, in-depth, very rich knowledge, because it is a vast knowledge of Ayurveda's approach to body, diet, and lifestyle. It's something very understandable that we're going to offer. We're going to make Ayurveda very familiar, and we're going to make you in a way you're going to feel like at the end that what you learned was very natural and very uh, that sort of mirrors human design in a very natural way, and it will appear very rational to you, not mystical, and you will understand exactly why it works. I think that's one thing that the U.S. education system really offers worldwide, which is Americans love to ask the question why, and they demand an answer to the question why. And so I think uh, that the American Academy can really, again, even be a complement to the Indian one or South Asian one, because of that insistence on asking why. A very cultural approach that's different and complementary here. And so, in the Joyful Belly School of Ayurveda, you'll get to know the why, and you will, and that will be very satisfying, and it will give you a it'll give you the tools that you need to innovate yourself within the field, to innovate in Ayurveda and offer something to the community. As Joyful Belly does every year, we conduct over 88 research. Well, last year about 88 research studies in food that we have published on the website, and we'll continue to do that research with your class and other classes at this school. So you'll be part of novel research in this program that we will offer to the international Ayurveda community. Okay, great. Why study Ayurveda? People come to Ayurveda to learn something wholesome in the world, to create something wholesome in the world. Um, they are drawn to Ayurveda's wholesomeness, and they're also the kind of people that like to solve problems, to help other people improve their quality of life. We're consultants and we're teachers, actually. We want to show people how to feel good, and we have a passion for people. Now, many people who go into health modalities have a passion for people, but not all. Some herbalists, for example, they just love herbs so much, and they just want to spend their life growing herbs and making herbal tinctures and all that kind of thing. And they kind of their passion is herbs. In Ayurveda, our passion is people, and so there are all kinds of different approaches to health. And in Ayurveda, we're going, and in this school, we're going to take a very person-centered approach to learning Ayurveda. And and I think that people who come to Ayurveda have a passion for people generally. I think people who come to Ayurveda have a mission. They're mission oriented people. They want to do something great with the little time they have here on earth. And they see in Ayurveda the possibility to bring something to light, to bring something to the public that's been sort of hidden from the public. Not necessarily that someone's trying to hide it, although that has happened in Ayurveda's past and even in Ayurveda's recent past. But but you've unearthed something that has the potential to help your community, and we want to bring it to light. We want to make it known. And so I think Ayurveda people come to Ayurveda because they have a mission, and it's not just a money making opportunity for them, but it's a labor of love. And yes, there's economic opportunities in Ayurveda, but I wouldn't say that was the first spark for people. The first spark for them was wanting to offer something great to their community, and then of course you should be rewarded for that. And we'll talk a little bit about that too. People see in Ayurveda something special, something right as rain, something natural, and they feel it in their bones. And people are inextricably drawn to Ayurveda too. And I think sometimes they don't even know why. Perhaps it's a combination of things. Or when you look at it from afar, you see that it is not just data or statistical data, as much of Western medicine has become. It is there's a lifestyle. It's about how you are at home, in your home. How do you eat your meals? How do you live? Ayurveda addresses the question, how do you live? And so that integration, because it integrates that and has a vision for how to live well, people enjoy it. So there's that factor too, that it's not just a service, but it's something that people enjoy. When I first resisted learning Ayurveda uh, myself, the first time I heard of it, I come from an Italian American family. The way that I show people I love them is by cooking for them. I still just love to cook for people. Sometimes I can't even eat the food. I have a few food allergies. Sometimes I can't eat the food, but I still love to cook it for people. And one day I hope I get a chance to cook for you. Um, and when I first heard about Ayurveda, I really didn't want it to cramp my style. I did. It's my art form. It's like telling a violinist, now here's a bunch of rules that you've got to follow. You can't just make any music you want anymore. Now you've got to follow this particular kind of violin melody or something, right? That's what I thought about Ayurveda and how it would affect my cooking. And so I wasn't interested at all. People kept mentioning it though. I was studying Western herbalism at the time. I was very interested in health, natural healing, and holistic healing, and I was just checking things out. And people kept mentioning Ayurveda to me, and there was some point where I picked up a book of it and learned a little more about it. When a light bulb went off in my head that this is not going to cramp my style in cooking or be unnaturally restrictive. In fact, it was just the opposite. It was not a bunch of rules that would restrict how I played the violin. It was a bunch of rules that would show me how to play the violin, right? And that's the way it was for me with cooking. I have some point realized that Ayurveda would enhance my creativity in the kitchen because it had such the right natural understanding of food. Right? It's only unnatural law that's oppressive, right? But natural law, something that fits with the actual human design, is something that's going to enhance creativity. And I started creating food that 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 made people feel great and tasted great. In fact, those aren't separate. Our tongue is supposed to enjoy what's good for us. Uh, and yeah, our tongue has maybe gotten a little distracted by some processed foods and all that. But a person who knows the art of cooking and knows Ayurveda can blow that out of the water with flavors and tastes and creativity. And that's what I experienced when I came to Ayurveda. Not just a service, but something very enjoyable, and that was great. Um, so I'm going to talk a little bit more in this fashion before going to the course format. By the way, I want to give everyone a complete and thorough um, review of course format and particulars. But I also want to give you a little window into into our approach and what it's going to be like studying here, and even in today's class, just as you're listening, I want to communicate to you my enthusiasm for teaching, not just enthusiasm for Ayurveda, but for teaching, right? We're person focused. My focus is on Ayurveda, but more than Ayurveda is communicating to you something, something that's maybe hard to, in a way, things are difficult to communicate, but I want to try to communicate the feeling of it. That's one of the hardest things, and hopefully inspire you to say, "Hey, I would enjoy learning from this person," and I'm actually excited about it. So hopefully you're feeling that way, and hopefully I'm doing a good job of that. Great. Let's see. One thing I want to say about Ayurveda too is that studying Ayurveda is a little bit like learning to speak a new language, um, or learning how to ride a bicycle. It's a little bit odd at first, or odd not in the sense of strange, but just new. It's a different way of thinking. As I said before, in and around the 1600s, the modern Western medicine sort of replaced the old way of thinking about diseases. And so we're going to revive that, and that's just a different way of thinking. It's a sort of pre-scientific method way of thinking. It's almost it might feel similar to the way Greek philosophy or something works, although it's not going to be hard to read like Aristotle or Plato or something like that. It's just old world style of uh, old world rationale, and the Greeks were, kind of invented rational, and the Vedic cultures invented rational. Right? These were deeply philosophical folks that were interested in fundamental truths, and they sought after that, and studied, and so it's anything but haphazard, right? It's anything but all over the place. No, in a way highly structured, but just a little different, and that uncanny difference is going to be a shift, and it's maybe going to take a few months. Actually, at about 3 months, you'll be probably doubting yourself that it'll ever sink in, and you'll be like, "Oh, everyone else in the class knows it but me," right? And you might feel that kind of monkey mind, or insecurity kind of crop up, or self-doubt cropped up. And I'll just say, when that happens, I'm giving you the warning in advance, really, is that 3 months in, you'll feel it. But then about 6 months in, that'll completely turn around, and you will start to feel confident, and you'll be like, how did I not know this before? Like, this is something so innate. How did I how was this difficult? Because it's actually not difficult. Now, I never met a practitioner who regretted studying Ayurveda. I do know people who studied Western medicine and regretted it later. Not that there's so much they regretted studying it, but just sort of regretted being in the profession, um, because of things that have happened in the profession over the last 10 years. They get fed up with it or something like that. And again, I'm not dissing Western medicine on this at all. We love Western medicine. Many wonderful things that it's offered. But I'm just saying here that I've never met a practitioner who has regretted studying Ayurveda. 5 years later, 10 years later, 15 years later, they still love it. And a lot of our students will say, okay, I'm going to postpone it to next year because I'm busy this year, or I don't have the time, or I don't have the finances. And I'm just going to put it out there to you. Will that really change next year? Will your time be much more available next year? Will finances really change by then? And usually it doesn't. Now, I'm not saying that means that you should just, jump in with abandon, or that you should ignore practicality or anything like that. But I'm just saying, if it's a goal of yours and if you want to do it, will it really change by next year? And the answer is probably not. Right? For less than most people spend on their groceries each month, they can get an education. We're an online school. We have less overhead. Something that would cost $8,000 a year somewhere else is going to cost $4,499 and with us. Right? The course is $4,499 for a year. And if you break that down, it's something like $350 a month or so, $400 a month, somewhere between those two numbers, that you can get a great education that you will use the rest of your life. Now, a very practical education on two levels. Yes, there are economic opportunities, but also you are going to be feeling good for the rest of your life for $4,500 to feel good for the rest of your life. Right? Just how much are you spending on health insurance each month? Right? This is something that you will make you happier forever. So that is a great thing, a very good thing. And uh, so I do know nobody I know regrets studying Ayurveda, but plenty of people regret not studying Ayurveda, and they regret delaying it year after year, hoping that things will change in their life. And I'm just going to say that, like, Ayurveda is the change in your life, right? That will be the change in your life. Let's talk a little bit more about Ayurveda as a good career choice. Really, they shouldn't call alternative medicine alternative anymore, because um, actually worldwide expenditures on alternative medicine actually exceed expenditures in Western medicine, according to the Global Wellness Institute. And I found that fascinating, that on some level, what I do is not the alternative thing, but it's the thing that most people in the world are doing. And um, and all that just goes to show that there is money in uh, alternative medicine, that there is an opportunity. Now, does that mean that it's always easy to make money in alternative medicine? No, there are some common mistakes that people make when they're going out there to start their practice, and I'll talk about some of the key mistakes people make in just a minute. But I want to say that uh, Ayurveda has been publicized in this nation, where when I first started as a practitioner, when I mentioned Ayurveda, people didn't know what it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Now, when I talk about Ayurveda, people may not know what it is, but they've heard of it and they're interested, even in small towns. And so people are aware of it, and that can only mean that it's growing, and it has grown. Dr. Oz has published it. Every single yoga teacher training program in this country mentions Ayurveda at some point, or even offers it as a week-long module in their training program. I gave a teleconference at Yoga Alliance that had triple their normal attendance. 1,000 people came to it. I gave another teleconference to a Christian health and wellness online symposium, and 1,600 people registered on our website as a result. So it's not just the yoga community that knows about Ayurveda or that's interested in Ayurveda. people from all different subcultures in this country are interested and want to know and want to feel good. So, Global Wellness Institute. Here we go. Yeah, total global health expenditures at 7.3 trillion. But the wellness expenditures, meaning alternative health and wellness, it was at 4.2 trillion. That's more than half of the 7.3 trillion. That means all of Western medicine fit in the other 3.1 trillion. This sector is growing twice as fast as the economy. Now here you see a picture, an X-ray of the colon, and it looks like it's a little backed up colon actually. Looks like there's some material stuck in there. Anyway, let's see. So I'm going to say that Ayurveda has a special gift to offer in digestive health and wellness. That in the area of digestive health and wellness, Ayurveda has a specialty and has a great strength, and that's one of the reasons why I started this course and wanted to teach it, is because I want the world to know the great tools Ayurveda has for digestive health and wellness. There's some other areas that Ayurveda is really strong in: beauty, health, skincare, nervous system, to name a few. But digestive health is something Ayurveda is very good at, and I think that you will have an edge that other health and wellness professionals don't have with this kind of knowledge. So, how many Ayurveda practitioners in your town specialize in digestive disorders? How many people in your town specialize in digestive disorders? Probably not many, but almost everyone has digestive disorders. Almost everyone's concerned with nutrition. So, you have something that people need and want, and I think that can make your services really on the cutting edge. Your spouse, parents, colleagues, other people in your community are going to want to know that you're making a practical choice. And it's helpful if you have a vision for what your life's going to look like. You know, what will your life look like once you open up your clinic? What will it be like talking to clients? What is that going to feel like? What will your clinic look like? And how you will help your community. Those are some intangibles that will help you clarify your vision. But other people will also want to know um, some specific ideas you have for growing your practice. You know, if your husband or wife is going to invest $4,499 in and a lot of your time into this program, they're going to want to know, like, is this something that we can recoup our investment? And I just want to say that of all Ayurveda courses, this course is incredibly practical because it's a specialization, right? Because you're learning a particular skill in digestive tract pathology that people want. Your vision will be more clear. When a person graduates from a Ayurveda health counselor program, they have to, in a way, pick a specialty. Now, many people love Ayurveda, but they don't think of Ayurveda as a need. What they think of as digestive health as a need, right? If you have poor digestion, digestive health is a need. And Ayurveda is a need as if and only if it can help you with your digestion, right? But the real need is digestion. You don't care if you have digestive problems, you don't care how it gets fixed. You just want it fixed, right? So in this course, because you're specializing, your business is digestive health, and you're using Ayurveda to provide that. I think almost everyone, parents, spouses, and colleagues, can get behind you being a digestive health um, and wellness practitioner. They will immediately see the need of that. And that's how you should talk about it with them, that you're going to learn digestive health and wellness. And you're going to do it through this amazing technique called Ayurveda. And they will see the business opportunity in digestive health and wellness. And that will help them feel more comfortable investing in you. And again, I don't just mean a financial investment. I also mean an investment in time. Now, our course is very flexible. Uh, we do give you three, uh, excuse me, in this course, you will get one digestive tract pathology that we're going to focus on for the week. You'll get a case study and um, an in-depth discussion about the pharmacology of a particular food. And each pathology, food, and case study is chosen to give you a window into a whole range of issues, the Ayurveda patterns of disharmony in that issue, so that you'll be basically getting three, focusing on three different things each week: the pathology, a case study around it, and the pharmacology of a specific food. And that's what our conversation is going to center around. So you'll get homework each week, and including a pre-recorded presentation, and then an optional supplement presentation on Ayurveda, on a general introduction to Ayurveda, which practitioners can opt out of. And then we'll meet 3 times a week to talk about those three aspects: case study, food experiment, and digestive tract pathology. So you will, when I talk about investment in time, that's generally the structure of each week. And it will take about 8 hours a week to complete this course, about 2 hours less, 1 to 2 hours less if you know anatomy and physiology very well, like as if you're a doctor or nurse, and 1 to 2 hours less a week if you already know Ayurveda. So that could be less depending upon your skill level or prior knowledge. But generally, that will be about your time investment per week in this course. We do have ample breaks. We have, I think it's over 15 weeks of breaks: Thanksgiving, 3 weeks for the holidays, winter break, spring break, 2 weeks around Easter, summer break, and before we come back to finish up clinic. So you will have ample breaks in the program, and we have a very flexible extension policy because life happens. Our students are busy adults who have careers, children, aging parents, and spouses, and are wearing many roles and many hats, and they still complete the course. I'm just going to also mention that if there's any issue or questions that you have about Ayurveda career coaching, or just what your career vision is, or how to talk to others in your community, others who are decision makers in your in choosing this program, that I'm happy to talk with you. And you can see my cell phone number there at the bottom of the screen. It's 828-785-8213. You can text me right now, actually, while you're listening to this call. Text me that you'd like to talk about your career goals in Ayurveda and career vision, and I'm happy to offer some career coaching to you. I've talked to hundreds of students about this, and so I can help you. The three most common obstacles to enrollment are time, money, and support. Support means support from spouse or parents, as the case may be, or do you have the money for it, and how students have worked around that. Do you have the time? I will show you great study tips so that you can be very efficient in learning this program. So yeah, if time, money, or support is an obstacle in your enrollment, just text me. And you saw my number, +1 for the United States, 828-785-8213. That's 828-785-8213. Text me, and we can talk about that. All right, let me just, I'm going to wrap up this section and then just talk over the format so that we can get to Q&A. Other things that are unique about Joyful Belly is that we focus on great teaching. It's not just a person who knows Ayurveda best, but it's the person who can communicate Ayurveda best. You're going to need to communicate Ayurveda to your clients. What's the main difference between Ayurveda and Chinese medicine is that Chinese medical clients don't go home and stick needles in themselves. But when you are meeting with a client, you're going to tell your client what to do at home, and then they will treat themselves at home. They will make health and wellness changes at home. So you've got to be a great teacher to your clients. We believe that the best academics make incredible wisdom accessible to everyone. There is a kind of academic that likes to speak in either very mystical language or sometimes very high vocabulary. I think you have all experienced this, probably in college or in high school or just at some learning opportunity, where somebody likes to make themselves look smart by using big words, and that just makes everyone confused. Now, we're fine using big words here at the Joyful Belly School. I have a degree in mathematics from Harvard University. I've been an academic my whole life. I've taught my whole life. And actually, a lot of my teachers at Harvard were that type of teacher that would use very fancy language to say something that could be said very simply. And so we're going to give you all of Ayurveda's richness in accessible, meaningful language that your clients will need when you're meeting with them. And I think that is what makes great academics. It's very easy to make something complicated for everybody. It's very difficult to make it simple for everybody without losing any of the richness. Now you can make it simple if you dumb it down. We're not going to do that. A professor would be of Ayurveda would be able to learn a lot in our course, but it's never going to feel like it's inaccessible unless you're a professor. Okay. I just want to give you a little bit about our style so that you understand that, because that's really a big part of the decision. We're going to teach Ayurveda in such a way that your husband, your wife, your family, your friends will say, "Wow, that makes sense." Okay. So yeah, it will be a challenging course. I just want to say that it'll be challenging. It'll take you only 8 hours a week. That's doable. Some people will spend a little less time, but it'll be challenging because it's a different way of thinking. And even if you're an Ayurveda practitioner, it will be challenging too because it's a lot of information. All right. Let's see. I had severe digestive issues myself. That's how I got into Ayurveda in the first place. I was living in France. I was in Morocco. I was in Bangladesh. I was in Guatemala. I was in Mexico. And after all that fun, I needed to heal my own digestion. And also as a cook, I got really interested in it because it helps a person be more creative. So that was my introduction to it. So I healed my own digestive issues, and part of my interest in offering Ayurveda to the public came from my intense passion to just heal myself. All right, great. I think I've offered most of this, some of our accreditation and certification, the American Association of Drugless Practitioners, which you can apply to become board certified as a holistic health practitioner with them after graduating. Also, the Association of Ayurvedic Professionals of North America. You can register with them. They have accredited us. You can register with them to get as an Ayurvedic food consultant. We will certify you as an Ayurvedic digestive health coach. We are also, Joyful Belly is also members of NASC, and we are licensed by the state of North Carolina to teach Ayurveda. We are a licensed school. All right. I've mentioned this as the course format, that you will get one recorded presentation each week, one supplemental presentation introducing you to Ayurveda, a food, herb, or body awareness experiment, and a case study. And then we're going to have 3 live calls discussing the above. That's the general format and structure of the course. You'll be meeting with clients towards the end of the course, and we'll be doing case studies in class. We'll be reviewing your client meetings in the end of the course. The course will include Ayurvedic nutrition. It'll include Ayurvedic fundamentals. That's in those supplemental presentations. We'll do assessment of the tongue and the GI and paradigms of Ayurvedic digestion, going through all the major areas of digestion. Upper GI, starting in the mouth, esophagus, stomach, through to the small intestine, the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum, and then going to the cecum, ascending colon, and all the way across to descending colon, sigmoid, anus area disorders. So we're going to go through the whole digestive tract, top to bottom. We'll talk about seasonal diet. We'll talk about cleansing and detoxification. We'll talk about mind-gut connection, parasites and microbiome, weight loss, and more. So we're going to go, food allergies, acid reflux, gallbladder disease, appendix, etc. All of it. You'll do buddy and client consultations. You'll do in-class consultations. You will develop a therapeutic protocol on a disease of your choice. So even though you're specializing in digestion, you're going to specialize even further. You might pick gallbladder disease. You might pick constipation, irritable bowel, food allergies, acid reflux, or the effect of digestion on metabolism, the effect of digestion on the nervous system. You can choose the effect of digestion on asthma, autism, etc. You can pick your topic, and that will give you additional experience in that area, so you can hit the ground running when you're ready to start your clinic. Now, I'll tell you that the most frightening thing about the course for most students is the therapeutic protocol. They say every year that it was also the hardest part of the course. And they also say at the end of the course that it's the thing that they're most proud of. And that's very interesting to me, that it was the thing they feared the most, the thing that was the hardest, and the thing that they were the most proud of when they finished. That it gave them a higher level of confidence than if we didn't have that. Anyway, I think it's a very inspiring opportunity to get to write a therapeutic protocol and get feedback from your teachers as a way of, your first step towards a health and wellness practice. All right, great. We record all the live classes. So if you're not available to attend a live class, we have a person on the call tonight from Vietnam. We have students every year from Australia and other Pacific Rim countries. We have students every year from Europe. We have students from South America. They're in different time zones. And not all the classes are convenient for students due to job or other factors in your life. So most students are able to attend 2 out of the 3 live class times. We encourage attending all 3. Some students can only attend 1, many students 2, some all 3. But here's what I'm going to say is that all of our classes are recorded. All the live classes are recorded. So if you can't make the Friday class or the Wednesday class or the Tuesday night class, then that's okay. You're going to listen to that one by recording and attend the ones live you can. We've staggered the times so that no matter what your time zone, there's a class time that's convenient for you, whether you're Pacific Rim, Europe, or the Americas. For our English as a second language students, all of our presentations come with transcripts. So you're not going to miss a word. Like you might be listening tonight and being like, okay, I can't understand every word. that I'm saying. English is not my first language. Or even if the sound quality was fuzzy at a particular moment. In the course, all of our pre-recorded presentations come with transcripts so that you can read them. Assignments and tests are graded pass fail. It's a non-competitive and supportive environment where you are going to learn as much from your peers as you will from the teachers. You can study from your comfort of your own home or office anywhere in the world. Calls are generally attended by 20 to 40 students. You can download everything in the program and keep it forever. You can attend lecture whether you're on the beach or whether you're in a hotel somewhere or at home. You can also study when it's most convenient for you and when your brain is most fresh. As I mentioned in the pre-call conversation, I'm freshest in the early hours of the morning, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., up until around 11 a.m. And then, and then I start doing other administrative things. So if I was taking this course, I would be doing most of my studying in the early morning. My wife, she's a night owl. Her brain is alive at 11 p.m. So she would do her studying at 11 p.m. The tuition fee for the program I mentioned earlier is $4,499. We do have a monthly payment plan. Let me show you how to register in the course. Hold on one second. All right, so you click on wellness courses at thejoyfulbelly.com, and then you click on Master Ayurvedic Digestion and Nutrition. And right here, you can see register for $375 a month, or pay the $600 deposit. And you don't have to do both. I just want to say that. Like if you're paying the monthly $375 a month rate, don't pay the $600 deposit. That's all bundled into the $375 a month. Or if you're going to pay the whole program tuition up front, which you'll save $250 if you do that, you then send in the $600 deposit here, and then you send mail over snail mail a check for the remaining tuition. So if you click on this, it will put in the $600 amount. If you click here on register now for $375 a month, then you'll get the monthly rate. But you don't have to do both. So remove one or the other, right? Okay. Oh, let's see here. Okay, great. So that's how you register, by clicking on that red button. Now, if you haven't yet registered for the digestive program, and this is a little surprise that I'm offering for everyone who stayed on the call this long. If you're still on the call now, I'll give you a $500 discount on registering if you register in the next 24 hours. So, that you can just email me and let me know when you've registered, and I will give you a $500 scholarship towards your tuition if you register in the next 24 hours. That's just a little gift for those who are still on the call, because I see that there's 20 people that are still here, and you've made it to this point. So you get $500. And I know it's a big decision. I just want to say that. I don't it's not a light decision to make, to study for a year, right? And I just want to tell you I'm available if you have any questions. Just want to say that. I'm available if you have questions. I gave you my cell phone number already. It's 828-785-8213. 828-785-8213. That's my my cell phone number. So text me if you have any remaining questions, and I will try to answer your questions as soon as possible, so that um, you get what you need to make that decision in a short period of time. Now, you've probably been thinking about it for a while, so maybe it's not just a short period of time for you. But I just um, want to make sure I'm there for you if you still have questions. Someone's asking, is there a limit to the number of students allowed in the course? We're limited simply by number of teachers, and we're getting close to the end. So if we do have more students registering, that could present an issue, but we're still well covered as we are now. So registration is still open. So yes, you're welcome, Joy, to still register. All right. So Lan is asking, um, okay, I'm going to take questions, but let me wrap things up for the recorded portion, and then we'll go more into questions. So keep typing in your questions, and I'll be able to scroll up and answer them as soon as the presentation's over. Let me just finish before I answer questions. Oh, there's my cell phone again. And I also want to say, oh, I don't have WhatsApp anymore. I use Telegram now. So it says here that I have WhatsApp, but I'm just going to change that to Telegram. I use Telegram for international calls, just for security, because WhatsApp kind of tracks your contacts and things like that. So Telegram is what I use for international students. If we need to have a conversation about, and you're overseas and you don't want to spend a huge amount of money on the phone call, we'll Telegram each other, and we'll talk that over that way. And we can also Zoom if we need. This is my number here, and you can use Telegram app, the Telegram phone app. When does the next course start? Someone's asking. Great, great. It starts the first Tuesday in October. So we have just a few weeks left to register, and now's the time you want to register. So that way you get your application in, you get the books that you need, and there's no hiccups when you're getting ready for class. All right, good. This concludes tonight's presentation. I want to thank you again for showing up. As I said in the beginning, health is contagious. It's not just disease that's contagious. Health is too. And so when you make the decision to invest in health, you're not just healing yourself, but you're healing the people you love and your community, and making the world a better place. And that's a great thing. So again, I just want to thank you for taking that step towards health. I want to thank you for your interest in Ayurveda and that you chose us. I mean, that's a great honor for us that you're here today to think about coming into the Joyful Belly School. And so I'm going to open things up for questions. I see one already. Will the books be an extra cost? Someone asks. And I'm going to say, in total, there's about $400 in additional costs. That includes all the food that you'll buy. So, I mean, you need to eat food for dinner anyway. The food in this that we'll be experimenting with is familiar household foods. Like we might experiment with a banana or something like that, or something a little more exotic at times, or a tomato. But that's our medicine, right? Food is medicine. Food is medicine means the stuff that we're generally eating. So so that $400 includes that food, which is just part of your normal grocery budget anyway. Doing some consultations, outside consultations, some books, and some other materials, and that comes to about 400. I think it's a little less actually, like 320 or 350, something along those lines. Is there any? Lan is asking, is there anything that international people should know before starting the course? Generally, people from the Pacific Rim can attend the evening Tuesday night class. So just as you were able to attend today's intro, you would be able to attend our Tuesday evening class that starts at 7 p.m. Eastern, which you said, Lamb, was 6 a.m. your time. So So that's the class that you'll be attending live. The other two classes will be in the middle of the night for you. They're 12, actually, wait a second. They're 12 noon on Wednesday, which is going to then be 11 p.m. your time. So that one's maybe possible for you. And then the Friday class is at 11 a.m. So that would be 10 p.m. for you. So you might be able to attend all three. That depends on you. But that would be the only thing. And I would also say that English as a second language, we have transcripts. So that would be the only issues that we hear from our international students is that some students may not have a great command of English. They use our transcripts. And if you do have a great command of English, then you may not need the transcripts at all. But I think everyone likes having the transcripts, even native speakers. So I think those are the only considerations for international learning. How long are the live courses? The Tuesday night course class is an hour and a half, and the Wednesday and Friday is an hour long. Now, Lan, you also asked, should we practice applying and teaching what's taught in the course as soon as the course starts? So if you have an active practice when you're seeing clients, there's no reason why you shouldn't apply some of the knowledge to your clients. In fact, I think it will be impossible not to, because just once you know something, it's hard not to use it. But I would also say just be a little cautious that you might not know it thoroughly yet. And some areas I think if you're in a health practice already and you have a professional health and wellness practice that you'll be aware of, I think, issues that could possibly harm someone. So I would say on some level you'll probably start building it in, but I wouldn't but definitely don't say that you're an Ayurvedic practitioner or something until you get your certificate, because that would be misleading. Kathy asks, where did I learn what I know? Well, I went to Ayurveda school for 2 years. I also studied in India with a few Vaidyas. And then, as I said, I had my own digestive disorders. So I used what I knew of Ayurveda and applied it to research digestive tract pathology. I spent a number of years doing that, and then I also have had a clinical practice specialized in digestive tract pathology now for I don't know the exact number of years, 13, 14 years now. So um, yeah, I studied with Dr. Lod. When, if you're asking specifically, I did study with Dr. Lod when he was still personally teaching his courses. Now, can I share any tips for remembering the comprehensive knowledge throughout the year? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I want to talk to students just even a bit about how to learn. Now, um, and what good pedagogy is. Pedagogy is the art of teaching. And so people need to know, how to learn, how to set up a knowledge system. And we use active learning techniques, and I educate all of our teachers in active learning methods so that we have good pedagogy, good art of teaching in this school, and that we set up knowledge systems in your brain, because knowing how to create a knowledge system makes memorization easy. So that's all I'm going to say for now on that. But just we use active learning, thought-provoking questions, not hard questions, not thought-provoking in the sense of hard, but in a way forcing students to apply the knowledge creatively and also to make meaning out of it. It turns out when you make meaning out of what you're learning, it's much easier to remember. And there are techniques to do that, and we study that so that you have a great learning experience. How else can I help? Does anybody have any other questions? Let's see. I see one message came in. Is there any tie back to blood chemistry? We will reference that as needed. Ayurveda does tie back to blood chemistry, and blood chemistry fundamentally influences digestion because digestion takes a lot of blood. And so we talk about Ayurveda's techniques to build what's called Deha Agni, which is your full bodily metabolism to, in a way, kind of energize your body so you have enough energy for digestion. That is a part of the course. And so yeah, and from time to time you will see references to blood chemistry. Do I use DNA stool testing ever for understanding parasites and microbiome? Yes, we will teach you how to read stool tests in this course. So not so much DNA stool testing, actually. We use antibody stool testing. So yeah, I see what you're saying. You're saying that certain people with certain DNA have certain predispositions for certain kinds of microbiomes. In our microbiome lecture, do we talk about that? I can't remember, but I do know that we talk about how to read like antigen, antibody stool tests and things like that. Any other questions? Great. Great questions, everybody. You've been a great group, and I appreciate the privilege of being able to of you coming and to us and being able to talk to you about our course. And just reach out if there's anything that I can help with to help you decide whether the course is right for you. There's my number again. Oh, I just sent it to everyone in the waiting room. Let me send it to everyone in the meeting now. There's my number again. Text it if you have a question about forming a vision for your career, any question about the course. And also, if you register in the next 24 hours, send me that email to claim your $500 discount. And I'm very excited to offer that to people who stayed on the call. So, oh, my email, john@joyfulbelly.com. And thank you all for your kind words. Lynn says she can feel that my energy in teaching and making things simple and accessible to everyone. And yeah, that's really hard to do. And I work hard at that. I really do. So and it's for people, right? It's for people. All right, have a wonderful night, everyone, and I look forward to hearing from you, and learning with you, and studying with you, and teaching you. Have a great day. Take care, everyone.